Back on Steele and Vance Holiday Edition. And Linda, this last little bit has seen a huge change for British Columbians when it comes to politics.
Yeah, we've got a new premier in BC, and John Horgan, we're calling him John now, he's not the premier. He went out on a high. I mean, he was one of the most popular premiers in Canada because I think he had the ability to be a dad, no BS, tell it like it is. It got him into trouble a couple of times. But yeah.
We tried to get him into trouble too when he stopped by here.
It's because we poured a bunch of tequila down his throat.
That's what we do. Watch.
A few months ago, I felt a lump in my neck, which led to a visit to my doctor and a series of tests over the past few weeks. These tests have revealed a growth in my throat.
The good news here is the cancer-free diagnosis with our co-host for the remainder of the show, celebratory for Premier John Horgan. We have brought one of your favorite beverages, so that you can truly be a co-host.
For you.
Yes.
And we should actually toast to good health.
Thank you, Brad.
And thank you so much. And
both of you.
Happy retirement almost. We're not really sure when that is.
Okay, now you're officially
Soon.
part of the team.
All right. Listen,
good.
we're going to talk about some tough stuff too, but not right now because we're really happy you're here and you look really good. I remember seeing you on TV at one point. I thought, oh, the premier's looking really thin. I was worried about you, and I think you look great now. So there's still time. Maybe you don't want to quit. Maybe you want to stay on.
Well, it is good to be here. Good to see you both. And it is great to be cancer-free. I'm not full of energy. I was kind of like the Energizer Bunny for most of my life, and the radiation treatment and the consequences of that really knocks the daylights out of you. Just as on the way over to the studio, someone came up to me, same diagnosis, same treatment, a couple of weeks behind me, and we were comparing notes on the different things that you're affected by. And I'm finding that's happening wherever I go. The number of people who want to share their cancer experience with their family members or with themselves is really, it humanizes the condition, right? And so that's been really good. But it is, I'm not changing my mind.
You're on your way.
We're big check watchers at home. Ellie, I'm not changing my mind. When I ended up taking on the leadership of the NDP, I had said, no, I don't want to do that. And I said to my wife, I said, don't worry, if I change my mind, I'll let you know. And she heard about it on the radio. So I'm not changing my mind, whatever camera I'm looking at.
You brought up the radio piece, and Linda and I were actually your first interview when you and Professor Weaver came into the CKNW studios, and it's kind of full circle. It's really.
I should have brought my Hawaiian shirt. I could have been Andrew in the interview.
Right. Well, you're still wearing the same tie as we saw in the video.
My lucky tie.
It looks good.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that.
Can I ask you a question though? I mean, you're an emotional guy, and I think you wear your emotions on your sleeve. What was the hardest thing that kept you up at night? Was there one moment or thing as premier?
Oh, many. I mean, we've had, I like to think I was only premier for 5 years, but in dog years, it seems like a lot longer. Three of the worst fire seasons ever, floods, atmospheric river, a heat dome, a global pandemic, and then a personal cancer go. It's not been a standard tour of duty. So it's difficult to say what kept me awake, but it was just about everything. I mean, I'm an empathetic guy. I care deeply about the people in my community and the people of BC. And when I see the struggles that people are going through, particularly during the pandemic, but even before that, I talk to business people who are struggling because they can't find enough workers. I talk to workers who are struggling because they're not being compensated enough to pay for the things they need to keep their families going. So I couldn't pick one thing, it was everything. And I think I'd like to think that to do the job effectively, you have to care deeply about the people that you're representing. And that's how I approached politics. And I've worked in government before I got elected. And I watched and observed politicians of all political stripes. I wasn't left or right or conservative, liberal, NDP, Green. I tried to take the best out of all of the things that I saw. And in life, I think you would agree that we're an amalgam of all of the people that we come across, the good and the bad. We learn as much from the people we dislike as the ones that we do like.
My question for you in terms of the leadership piece, because so many armchair quarterbacks, right? There are people like, oh, if I were premier, let me tell you what I would do if I was. So maybe before going into office, you thought, I'm going to change this. And then you get in and realize, I can't change.
Oh, that's why they do
What
it
is
that
it?
way,
What-
right?
Well, that point is a really good one, because as an opposition member, I don't know how many times I said it just takes the stroke of a pen.
Right.
Well, it doesn't. It takes a lot more than that. And intellectually, I knew that, but you're trying to raise awareness about issues. And you, as observers and commentators on public events, know this full well, that the challenges are numerous and they're constant and they come every day in different shapes and forms. But in government, you have a responsibility to not say this is the most important issue, because then you're alienating a whole bunch of other people who say, no, that's not my most important issue.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge has been to try and keep all of those balls in the air while you're working on solutions. And to find the solutions, you have to find allies and collaborators, if you will, in the good trouble, as John Lewis would say. And so you need to make friends along the way on all sides of the house to be truly effective. And Andrew Weaver's a good example. We couldn't stand each other when we were both on the opposition side.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, we couldn't.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
But I consider him to be a dear friend, and he will be for the rest of my life. And neither one of us would have predicted that. If you'd asked us in 2013, never would have said, no, that'll never happen. And similarly, there are liberals that I've grown quite affectionate towards in a positive way, not in a investigation way. And so I think that's how you make progress. Justin Trudeau and I, sometimes he drives me crazy, but other times I go, okay, well, we're on the same page here. And I got on really well with Aaron O'Toole. I urged him to stay because he seemed to me to be the kind of guy that would work with people. And as you get older, your partisanship starts to diminish. Your values don't change,
Right.
but your partisanship does. And that's what I've been trying to do. So what keeps me awake is, how do I find allies to raise enough awareness about an issue to solve it? Because you need to have people behind you or it won't work.
I love that. I mean, I really do, because there is so much polarization, and
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that. Coming up next, though, on Steele and Vance, the Premier is leaving office with a lot of unfinished business. Would that be the way to say
We got
it?
stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we got an ailing healthcare system, soaring gas prices, the housing crisis. We're talking about all that when we come back on Steele and Vance.